Louis, happy Father's Day, my friend. How many kids you got? 1, 7, 8? I have 2 myself, and I'm genuinely wishing you a happy Father's Day, and I hope you have some joy on this day and this crazy time of ours. I hear that you are into movies and filmmaking and directors, and I want to talk about you potentially writing a book. I am fascinated by the creative process and the artistic process. I think about it all day long. I'm constantly trying to perfect it and put myself in a position where I can win creatively. And when you're starting something new, I don't know how much experience you have with this. It is at once daunting, but also incredibly exciting. So if you are really considering writing a book, I don't whether it's nonfiction or fiction, I highly recommend getting through your first one very quickly, not judging yourself and assuming it's going to be terrible, and just make one. It's really critical that you get that out of the way and you forgive yourself for it being flawed or, in some cases, terrible. I made terrible stuff for years before I made anything that was remotely watchable or readable or listenable with music. And so I would come up with a subject that's personal to you. There's an old adage that, people who are making their first pieces of art should do things that are a little bit more autobiographical, because it takes a little more craft and skill to step outside of yourself, and that's can be a later thing. And then I would set yourself a set of limits. I would give yourself maybe only 3 characters to work with. I would give yourself only a few locations to work with. I would give yourself only a certain amount of chapters and pages. Put a box around yourself so that you don't have to think about what should it be, what could it be. You'll only think about how creative can I be inside of these limits. And then you need to set a page count for yourself minimum for each day. And depending on what your lifestyle is like, that might be 1. Or if you got more time now due to the pandemic, it might be 10 pages a day. And then do that math and say, okay, here's my book. I've got these 3 characters. I've got these 4 locations. And I'm allowing myself 8 chapters. And it has to be exactly 187 pages. And so you use this framework in order to build something that works within it. And that's something you build will most likely not be good, but that's okay. That doesn't mean you can't write it, read it, share it with people who love you, and they'll probably pinpoint 1 or 2 small things in there that are really interesting, that are great. Maybe out of the 187 pages you write, only 3 of those pages will be good or interesting, and you can use that as the seed to start your artistic career and then find out what you're really uniquely qualified to do. Because that will happen for you, no matter how bad your first piece of art is. There will be the seeds of what you can become in there. So that's my advice for you. I hope you have a great Father's Day. And I want to say thank you to you, Cree, as well, for giving this wonderful donation to one of my favorite charities, Blink Now. I give all the money I make on here to them. And they're doing a lot of great work in Nepal. And you guys are awesome for helping out. Sending you guys lots of love and health. Cheers.